Alrighty, talking about new offenses and kind of taking the next step here. Giants general manager Dave Gettleman says quarterback Daniel Jones should really make a major stride in year 3. Alrighty, Daniel Jones, we're big on him. We are believers in Danny Jones over here, Danny boy, if you will. But let's see if we can get any nice quotes here from Dave Gettleman. Here we go. All right, obviously this will be a big jump, Gettleman said. This is the year, year 2 to year 3, that Daniel should really make a major stride. We're looking forward to seeing him thrive. Yes, I am kind of expecting that as well. And if we're looking at kind of, quarterbacks that took that giant leap from year 2 to year 3 and what you can kind of do in this kind of current age of the NFL, making the stride from year 2 to year 3. Well, I mean, we've got the perfect example in Josh Mother-loving Allen, who took the biggest jump from year 2 to year 3. Years 1 and 2 for Josh Allen in Buffalo. Year 1, 52% completion percentage, 2,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks. Everything about that stat line I just said is absolutely garbage. Then year 2, 58% completion percentage, 300 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Still pretty not great in the yards and the completion percentage, but getting better. And then year 3, the greatest year I think I have ever seen of a not great quarterback his first 2 years, and then absolutely great year 3, 69% completion percentage, 4,500 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Everything I just said on that stat line is absolutely magnificent, folks. This is almost flawless. I would almost call this flawless, folks. A flawless stat line. Maybe if we cut those interceptions down from 10 to 9 just to get that single digit, then we would have been able to call this a flawless stat line. But overall, a fantastic year 3. So let's look at Daniel Jones' first 2 years here. Alrighty, year 1, 61% completion percentage, already better than what Josh Allen did his first year. 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. This is a pretty good stat line right here. The 2-to-1 touchdown and interception ratio, basically 62% completion percentage. We like 62 to 65 range. 3,000 yards, pretty dang good for your first season in only 12 games starting. And then year 2 took a slight step back, not in completion percentage. The completion percentage went up to 62%. 2,900 yards, little less yards. 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Those touchdowns came down a lot, but we have to remember, no Saquon Barkley, so they had no running game, so they're just pressuring the offense passing game on Daniel Jones and those wide receivers. So Daniel Jones, I mean, if Josh Allen can make it work with 52 and 58% completion percentage, I mean, Daniel Jones already has a leg up on being a surefire passer here. 61%, 62%, getting better, getting more accurate every single year. And Josh Allen just said, I'm a mother-loving dual-threat quarterback, because just this season he ran for 423 yards. Another kind of advantage in Daniel Jones' all-around game, making him a decent dual threat out here. He's 6'5", has the same frame as kind of Josh Allen, not as big as Josh Allen. Josh Allen 6'5", 240, and Daniel Jones is about 6'5", 220. So not as beefy as Josh Allen, but still as big, and he's got the arm as big as Josh Allen does. So we're not worried about Daniel Jones taking this next step. We know it's possible to have this great leap, a big step. We're expecting it from Daniel Jones. David Gettleman is expecting it from Daniel Jones, so that's all right there. Let's see if we get any more quotes here before we move off of this. Coach Joe Judge said on ESPN Radio Monday that one reason for Jones' struggle in 2020 was the hamstring injury that caused the quarterback to miss 2 games and could have knocked him out much longer. Quote here from the coach, Joe Judge, quote, "Look, Daniel is the last guy that's going to use anything as an excuse. What I would say about the injury last year is that it was much more serious than maybe people thought on the outside. I would probably say 90% of the players in the league who would have had that injury, including quarterbacks, would have been on IR for the remainder of the year. That's just the reality of it. So Joe Judge is like, this man's a mother freaking monster out here. You think a little injury is going to keep this man sidelined? No. He's trying to get back out on that field as quickly as possible. So we love that from Daniel Jones, the leadership, wanting to be out on the field, playing through the injuries. That's why we saw a little bit of a dip in the touchdowns a little bit, because he was playing through this injury, and once again, having no running game, they're all just going to be pressing up. That's kind of what Teddy Bridgewater faced a little bit with no Christian McCaffrey this year. You've got Mike Davis in the backfield. Yeah, these corners, they're not going to give any room. They're just going to be pressing at the line of scrimmage because, we're only worried about the passing game. All right, let's finish up this quote here. Quote, it was much more severe than maybe he allowed people to know, or the information that was put out there, and we're going to protect our players by not disclosing everything about their injuries. To be honest with you, he fought through a lot of things. He earned a lot of people's respect, so that's fantastic. He's got the respect of the locker room, the coaches, everybody in the Giants organization. He's making strides to get better. He's durable. He's wanting to be out on the field. So yeah, we're real excited for Daniel Jones right here, folks. Like we said, we are believers in him. We know we can make this next step. Josh Allen just proved you can make the year 3 leap. Daniel Jones is playing into year 3, so let's get it done, baby. Saquon Barkley's good. They've got a slew of freaking talent offensively to go get it done. You got Evan Ingram, Kenny Golladay. You just drafted a wide receiver. You got Saquon Barkley back. So let's go get it done offensively this season. And if it wasn't for Washington in the same division, I'm rooting 1,000% here for the Giants to be the first in the NFC East. So we'll see if Daniel Jones can take that year 3 leap. I think he really can, folks, truly.